How are you?
I'm good. I'm feeling very zen. I just did a little morning sound bath.
Mm.
So it was just good for after like a busy weekend.
Is that where you sit in the room and they do the bowl thing?
Yeah, you like lay down
Oh, okay.
and you just feel the vibrations.
Do you stretch or is it like yoga or
No,
no?
just chill and just
You
taking a
just
nap.
listen to sounds,
Yeah.
basically.
You feel the vibration go through your body and then you set an intention and it's really powerful if you can like get into it. I've done it several times now, but I remember the first time doing it, I was like, "This is it? What the like? What do you mean? What do you do? You just lay there? Can I take a nap?"
Did you fall
Um,
asleep?
I didn't. No, I can't do that in public. One time I cried a little bit. It's very
Oh,
powerful, and I remember talking to my doctor when I was pregnant because I got invited to like a sound bath healing thing at like Soho House. And I was like freshly pregnant. I was like 6, 7, 8 weeks pregnant. And she was like, we don't recommend it because of the frequencies. We're
oh.
not quite sure how like it affects the fetus and whatever. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. But it is very powerful.
Mm.
It is very powerful.
I'm
It's good.
surprised you like that, but you don't like the isolation. What's that thing called?
Oh, float
The
tank?
float tank. Yeah,
Hell
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I ain't doing
Float tank.
that shit.
But it's kind of the same thing
No,
because you're
it's
like
not.
in quiet and just.
This is not
Oh,
this
yeah, it's
is
just
not
sounds. Yeah, I
quiet.
guess the
And
float
I
tank
don't
you have
have
no
my
sound.
my sight deprived. It was like every sense was completely deprived. Thus sensory deprivation tank. Uh-uh.
Hmm. How
You
long
would
did you
like that
last
shit.
in the float tank?
Bro, I lasted like a couple minutes and then I had to turn the light on. I didn't turn all the lights on, but I turned my phone flashlight on. I needed to know where I was. I wasn't in the it's not going to be for me.
Ever, or do you think it was just like
You know what?
that
I
time?
think it was just going to be ever. I don't think it's going to be for me.
People do say they have like psychedelic
Yeah.
experiences in those, and I feel like I've never done it, but I feel like if that's the case, you're not going to be into it.
Right.
You're not a huge fan.
Right. I have some past trauma there and I think that I'm not like in a place mentally where I'm ready to just fully dive in.
Hmm.
I can like dip my toe in and like go like half in and I can float there and I can relax and I can get all of the benefits, but when you take away the sound and it's pitch black, the thing that freaked me out was like I need to know where the door is to get out. And they were like if you panic when you start up the conversation like that, if you panic, they were like hit this button and it'll turn the lights on. If I can't even see the button and I start to panic and I'm flailing around in the water naked,
Is it
it's
big
going to be
enough
a
where
no.
you can move, or like were you like still? Because then I would think you just know where it is, right?
You
Unless you're
don't because you
moving.
float around.
Oh,
You're
so it's big
literally
enough that you're
floating.
actually moving.
Yeah, like
Oh, okay.
your head can be where your feet are and then you don't know where you end up.
Hmm.
It's terrifying.
So
You would love it.
So did you find the button right away?
No, it
Oh
took me a
my.
while, and then that's where I panicked.
Oh
That's
yeah.
where it started to feel like the beginnings of like a panic attack. And then I was like, okay, I gotta do my phone, my flashlight.
Wow.
Yeah, you would love it though. I think you would be really into that.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sure that you feel like it was much needed, your sound bath, because you had a very busy
Oh my god.
couple of well, not just the weekend.
It
It
was
was
like
like a whole few days, like a week.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Just nonstop events, but like so fun. I had so much fun. You want to
Tell
talk about
everyone
it?
for yeah, what were these about? What were they for?
Okay, so we had Thursday night, Kendra Scott launched her first ever boot collection, which, like, first of all, love so much for her. That makes so much sense for her. And it makes so much sense for me. I was like, immediately, yes. I don't know what took so long, but we love a cowboy boot. We love anything country
What?
related.
Oh, okay.
So she launched this in her store Thursday night. We went to the event, and that just started off the like F1 weekend because F1 is in Austin. And I actually just found out that it is going to be until I believe 20, what is it, 36? I think like 9 more years they just
Wow.
signed. Or
I wonder if it'll be as popular as it is right now, though.
I don't
We don't
know.
follow it, so I don't know anything about F1. But
Yeah.
it feels like to me it was one of those things no one really cared about years ago, and then that show came out.
The documentary.
It's on Netflix, right? I
Yep.
think
Yep.
we've never watched it, but like, there's a lot of people who I think got into it just because of that.
Yeah, there are some people who have like been fans, but definitely it's more of like a low key. It's not like NFL fandom until that documentary came out, or maybe they just always have been like that, and I'm just ignorant to it because I'm
No
not
way.
paying attention to it. But
No, I think NASCAR was way bigger. Or I guess it
Yeah.
depends where you are too.
It depends where
Regionally,
you live.
NASCAR is bigger in like the southeast, especially.
Yeah. Although growing up in Pennsylvania, shit,
Did
we
you
had
watch
that race
NASCAR?
on. Oh yeah, it was on at like all the family events.
Mm.
Yeah, get her done.
I always find, honestly, like racing. I'm gonna be honest. I find it quite boring. Um, Now if I were driving, that's a different story. But like watching it, and when I think of NASCAR, it's like the ultimate boring because they just circles and it's hours long, and there's not even like there's a crash every now and then, and that's exciting. But the rest of it, you're
which
just
is like so fucked up to even say.
well, most of the time,
we love
most
it.
of the time they don't get hurt, right?
Yeah.
And then I went to the Daytona 500
Yep.
when I was in the military, and I had never been to any race before in my life, and then I got it. I mean, I didn't like it necessarily afterwards. Like, I'm not going to watch it, but I understood it more because I realized, like, oh, people make this. I think F1's the same way. There's like a whole culture around it,
Yeah.
and people like they have like RVs and they take them there, and then they meet friends and they like go on these like
It's like a
it's like a
tailgate.
little vacation.
Yeah.
They had RVs on the inside of the Daytona 500 because we were in the inner track. So like there were people there who were set up for like days.
I think that's so cool, and I think that's like most sports too, where you're just like, I don't really get it, and then you go and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you get the culture around it.
Yeah,
and
because
all
there's
the,
the people make it.
it becomes a community of people. So anyway, that was the first night. And
Yep.
speaking of that, the line around that store was insane. It was like a store on South Congress that was just when I first saw the line by the Kendra Scott, what's it called?
Yellow Rose.
Yep. I was like, oh man, there must be like drivers in there and they're like signing autographs because the line was like at least a block of South Congress.
Yeah, it was for
around the corner. And then we got out and I was walking past it and I realized it's just a merch shop.
Yeah, it's like a F1 pop-up merch thing.
That's nuts.
It's still there. I went to South Congress this morning for my sound bath, and it was 2 doors down, same block.
People were still lined up.
People were lined up outside.
Wow.
Yeah. Not like crazy, but there was a line.
Maybe we're missing something. Maybe we need to get in F1.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean,
we don't know what we don't know.
When NFL comes to Austin, then give me a call. But like F1,
seriously.
I'll go to the events. I'm not necessarily going to go to the... It is fun when you go, though, because I remember when Fairmont was sponsoring NASCAR, we went
that was fun.
in the Paddock Club. That was fun. I mean, it's just like, once you're there, sure, but like then the parking and the whole... whatever. If you haven't gone, go. But like if you've checked the box off.
For what? Racing?
Yeah, going to COTA.
Oh, yeah.
Going to the track. Anyway, the events, so fun. Every day, every night, so fun. And then I had 3 events on Saturday, and you were my +1 to all of them. How did that feel? Because I got
what
a
was
lot of...
Friday? Was there something
Friday was just, I went. You stayed home with Augie. I went to Commodore Perry.
For what?
An Elemis skincare pop-up. It was like they were the official skincare sponsor of Aston Martin. So they did a thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And I had people messaging me like, we love that Tim was your +1. Like, you guys look so good. People love the chain that you wore. So how was it going to 3 events in one night as my +1, considering this is not something that you're really used to and that you really do? Was it a lot? Was it too much? Was it not enough? Thoughts?
It was too much. It was too much in that amount of time. Like we only had 4.5 hours and we hit 3 different places. Then we had to go downtown. Then we had to come back to the house. Then we had to go out. I don't even know where we were for the last one. So with the commute and stuff, and then like each event, I mean, don't get me wrong, I had fun, but each event was like, well, also it didn't help that it was like 89 degrees outside.
Yeah, and the first event was completely outdoors.
Yeah. So I was just sweating profusely. I had
everyone
a suit
was.
jacket on. And it was just
all the girls, rough. Every single girl, not every single girl, but a lot of the girls that I talked to, they were like, my boob sweat is out of control. I remember when we saw a friend of mine, he turned around, he was like, look at my back. And his suit jacket was just completely soaked. Like everyone was sweating their dicks off. And it was
Yeah.
Not ideal. And like I get it. Okay, it is Austin, so like how can you plan for that? You can't be like, "Oh, oversight on the event committee," because it's just the weather. You can't.
Yeah.
But the other two events, AC.
Yes.
Thank God.
And the third event was a lot of fun.
The
The
third
Uber
event,
One event with the Zac Brown Band was definitely the highlight of the night.
the year.
And they had it all. They had a rodeo,
Ugh.
and we had fun. That
Ugh.
one, we had fun.
How many times did I say I'm so happy?
At least 15 times.
At least I would turn and look at Tim at the event and just say, I'm so happy right now.
Yeah.
And that was just pure emotion. It wasn't even alcohol because I had one drink at the first event and then one drink at the last event. And that's it. And I didn't even finish the whole thing.
Yes.
I didn't even finish it. Oh my God, you guys. Anything like Yeehaw Giddy Up Cowboy is just to my soul so fulfilling and satisfying. So when we walked in, first of all, the entrance, this was an Uber One party and you Uber there. They give you Uber credits. And it looks like you're going into like a hayride. It's just like dust, hay, field, corn, nothing.
It was on like a ranch, right?
Yeah. And then you go into this venue and I'm telling you, they thought of everything. It was the most well executed. It was the best event of the year. It was the best event of the year. It beat anything.
It was fun.
It beat anything. It was so fun. You walk in, they have a literal rodeo. Okay, so they come out. If you've never been to a rodeo before, you're totally missing out. It's so fun. They have this announcer who is like just exactly what you would think, right? It's like, I know, right? Kind of like Bruce Buffer, but country. Okay, and they do the national anthem. They brought out, oh my God, they had the clowns. They brought out the Texas choir and they were singing Deep in the Heart of Texas. Oh, I mean, it was so fun. And then they brought the bulls out and then I don't know. I can't. And then the Zac Brown Band. And I'm telling you that like, I think like the start of our relationship was when they got like really big or maybe before, but like there were so many.
Just before they had chicken fried. And
yeah.
I remember hearing that when I was in the military. And yeah, that was their big song in like 2000. I think that was like 2009, I'm going to say.
Why don't you ask?
Why don't I ask what?
You're Meta.
Hey, Meta. When did Zac Brown come out with Chicken Fried?
Right after we graduated high school.
I was close.
If you guys didn't hear that, it said June 2008. Okay, tell her to shut up. Okay, please stop talking. She's like, chicken fried is my favorite shit I've ever heard in my life. Okay. Anyway, my point was that like we kind of started our relationship and like we are really big country music fans. And a lot of the hits that they played that night, like we came up with.
Yeah.
And it was just
it was fun. They have a lot of hit songs. I forgot how many
many
huge hits they have.
So many.
Chicken Fried is definitely the best. And they saved that for last, which as they should have.
As they should have. Keep people engaged.
Yeah.
Half of the crowd didn't even know like any of the words.
Well, I think everyone knew that song.
They're having so much fun.
Everyone
no, not
knows
that song. The whole like set.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we were like, shit, we need to leave. Okay, our nanny was watching August. Well, August was sleeping. So our nanny was just here, right? I texted her and I'm like it's like mid show and I'm having the best time. And I'm like, fuck, we have to leave, but I don't want to leave. I texted her. I'm like, oh, can you stay like a little bit longer? And she never responded. And so Tim was like, we have a responsibility. We have to leave. And I'm like, shit. So Tim calls an Uber and we say goodbye to all of our friends. And she texted me back as soon as we left the venue. As soon as I stepped foot out of the venue, she's like, sure, Amanda, I can stay until whenever you need. Don't even worry about it. And I said, Tim. And you turn around. I was like, she can stay. And I was like so freaking, I was elated. I felt like a little schoolgirl.
Which, by the way, I mean, literally was the last second because I was about to cross the line and there was a big sign, no re-entry.
Oh,
so I was steps away from that.
Oh
like
my
probably
God.
3 steps and that would have been it. Like, sorry, too late.
And I ran back in and I saw our friends and I was like, we can stay. And it was just like, I went to bed that night grinning from ear to ear. I was so happy that just like recharged my soul. And I think it was a combination of like all the shit I love, literally the country music, the friends, the camaraderie, just like live entertainment, but then also a mix of like us. When's the last time we went to a country music concert? We've been to a lot, and we haven't been to anything like that since becoming parents. And it's
Yeah.
like we need that. We need that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, good for the soul. I'm so happy.
It was fun, and it was fun to be your plus one.
It was too much in one night, but
yeah, but I mean, I had a good time. But the plus one thing, it's fun. I bring a lot of plus one energy.
okay, expand.
Everyone's always talking about main character energy, and like I'm like I bring the plus one energy.
Okay, I love that for you. You looked really good.
But that's actually I don't mind it because like you know you didn't say this, but you wore this like crazy dress with like cars all over it, like Matchbox cars.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like your dress was the talk of every single, like all night. People just kept coming up to you,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's fun to be plus one with you because like you are so naturally just extroverted
Yapping.
and like you know everyone, and so it's great because I'm just like cool now I can just be here in the background. I'm perfectly fine with that. You know, like I don't like or need to be the center of attention. So it's really great when I have you to
balance
it out.
Yeah, we do well. We do well at that. It's a little bit of a challenge when I because I do know so many people, it's like a little bit of a challenge to like keep everybody involved, which is why I had a plus one that was supposed to come to the Friday event with me, and she unfortunately got sick, and I was like, I am just going to go by myself, because if I invite somebody else right now, it's like if you it's tough to navigate, because when people are like, Amanda, hi, oh my gosh, I want you to be my friend, and then I have somebody, and then I don't want them to feel left out, and it feels a lot like bombardment, because I don't know, I've just been in Austin for a really long time, so I'm like, I kind of like going solo to these things, when I can. But I'm so glad that you were my plus one for Saturday night, because Saturday night was the most fun. And like, how annoying would it have been if I like came home and I'm like, you missed out and you would have loved this and you would have loved this. And I'm glad that we got to experience that together.
Yeah, for sure.
So
it was
fun.
a good time.
Love that little recap.
Nice little break now though, right?
Yeah. Well, because we're traveling this week.
Yes, we are.
So
going out with friends for a weekend.
For a proper fall. This ain't it.
A proper, I don't know, I think controversial, but a proper vacation, because we've taken a few vacations, but they were different kinds of vacations.
Yep.
Like taking Augie to Italy, right? And where do we go after that?
Jackson Hole.
That was nice.
That was real nice.
Yeah.
We love Jackson Hole, you guys. Oh, yeah. We're going next year for a full 6 weeks is the plan.
Yeah. Did you read that article I sent you?
Article. You be sending me stuff. Also, you sent me something this morning while I was at the sound bath, and I'm like, what?
What did I send you this morning? Oh, I sent you well, the article was about the millennial vacation parenting. And I wanted to see if you had thoughts on that. Did
last
you
week though. Can you just do a little reminder? This was like last week, yeah.
Oh, it was just about how millennial parents prioritize taking their kids on experiences and like including like, you know, experiencing different cultures. And it was just talking about like what is the pros and cons of that. And I feel like it was really highlighting one of the cons was, at least the way I see it, is like taking your young kids to Europe is a very cool experience. They get to like experience different food and cultures that they otherwise wouldn't, but it's also frankly just exhausting as the parent.
And go ahead.
For me, I didn't feel, we talked about this before, but I didn't feel that it was really a vacation. I felt like it was actually a lot of work, and more work than I do on a normal work day. That's how I felt when I got home. I was like,
not worth it.
I don't regret it. Like it was fun. Like I think, and then we made lifelong memories and experiences. But I prefer the vacation where when you have kids, like I prefer getting some friends that also have kids and going somewhere together locally or close because
This makes
I
sense for
feel like
you.
I get the same amount of value with like half the or I get the same amount of like payout with like half the cost or a quarter of the cost. And it's nice when the people you're with also have kids because then it's like you're on the same level in terms of like the amount of
Chaos.
chaos and just logistics. I mean, can you imagine going on a vacation with folks who didn't have kids and like having August and like trying to do anything? Because like the logistics when you have a kid is
Yeah,
crazy.
but it depends. I mean, if you have the type of friends that are like okay with that
Yeah,
and can like be like, "Oh my god, yeah, what do you need to like help?"
which most people are, but
Right.
it's not them. It's normally you. And
Yeah.
like even though I'm looking forward to this one because like they also have kids. We're going somewhere that's a couple of hours away, and we can get there and we can all just be on the same level. We're just gonna
Yeah.
hang out and relax. There's no itinerary as far as I know. So we're
No.
not like, waking up every morning, got to do this, 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 and this. It's just like we're waking up and we're just going to do whatever that day.
It's going to be nice reset.
That I think
I
is
do remember reading something in the article that said it was also they had like a financial piece that they wanted to point out of like it's really not feasible for a lot of millennials
it's
to
super
do it
expensive.
from an income standpoint, and so I can
Yeah.
understand that.
Our
I
trip to
think
Italy was crazy expensive. We
yeah,
spent a
well we
lot of
went
money.
peak season to Lake Como.
And like everyone tells you like, "Oh, the food was expensive." Like we did not I mean, I've been to places in Europe where the food is not as expensive, but
Yeah.
Italy is definitely not one
Well,
of them.
it's Lake Como in freaking July, of
Yeah,
course.
of
Like
course. They probably jack up all the
of
prices.
course. Um I lost my point, but I think that it is important.
Cost. You were talking about cost and
I think yeah, I
expenses.
can see the pros and cons. I think it's definitely important, but it's also like it's very personality and financial dependent. So I am the kind of person that prioritizes experiences over anything, and I don't care if it feels like work because I know what it's like to grow up without having that luxury of travel, and you want to give your kids what you don't have. Now, we did do a lot of other fun things. I don't feel like I was like crazy deprived because my parents were really good at making it fun. Like we would go camping. That's what we would do.
Yeah.
And like a girl can camp now. Like
Yeah.
give me a fishing pole and some worms. Like I'm fine. But I also want August to be able to experience like other cultures, and I think that that's so important as he continues to develop. And it's like almost as important as like another language. Having this how do I even say this? Having like this emotional understanding of like being able to read the room in different cultures and like just knowing that like okay, this is something that we do in the United States, this is something that's like a custom in Europe, this is something like when somebody comes in and you can just read the room, like I want him to be able to experience that but with different cultures and to like know the subtle intricacies of nonverbal unspoken things,
Mm.
and then obviously like how to treat people, and that's different all around the world, but like still there's like this through line of like kindness.
Yeah.
And I want him to be able to like experience it
Would you do it
all.
again next year? Knowing what
Italy?
you know now? Well, just like anywhere overseas.
Um, I would. But
Okay.
like it depends on a lot of different factors because we were going to go to Singapore last month and August and I had a first class ticket, right? And I still said no. I think it's really dependent on do we have help? What is his temperament, right? Cuz it's like if he's cutting a bunch of teeth and he's a nightmare at night and he's not sleeping cuz he's in pain, I'm not going to get on a 24-hour flight.
Yeah.
So but maybe at 2.5 things will be different.
Yeah. I think I would be more interested in it when he's a little bit older because I think the benefits you're talking about, they don't really apply right now.
Right, it's more for us.
It's more for us. So I think for the next several years, I am more on the side of like, can we just go to the beach with some friends?
Yeah.
Or can we just go get a cabin somewhere and hang out and just, get a couple friends with kids and
I
just
love a cabin. Give me a
that's
fire.
the move for me.
Oof. Give me a fire outside and like just maybe some country music, a little Bud Light bottle, baby
Yeah.
monitor, kids are sleeping, and we're just shooting the shit.
And
Oh,
listening to Chicken Fried.
oh, come on now.
One thing I think
Take me back.
we should do next year that we talked about is the no cell phone trip.
Yes.
That's just for us.
Huge advocate.
That's just for us. I think we should do that.
100%.
Like a weekend or extended weekend where we go somewhere with August.
Yep.
The three of us, and we put the phones away.
In the car the whole weekend.
Yeah, no screens.
Yes. I'm so here for that.
That'd be fun.
I love that. I've done it before. It's very hard, but it is very rewarding.
But it's been years since you've done it.
It's been 2 years.
That's a long time.
Well, I haven't had the
Considering
opportunity.
you are on your phone like every day the last 2 years.
Yep. I would love to. I remember how difficult it was, and I kept my phone was off, but I kept picking it up and going like this, just automatically, just checking. You know, it's like the
Yeah.
Pavlovian. Oh my God, it was awful. But then I feel like after a couple hours, I shook that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just got back in touch with like nature and creativity. And I sketched and I drew and I walked around the property and I was drawing fucking flowers and I was just sitting on swings, looking at the clouds. I journaled a lot. That was really, really fun. I would do that once, if not twice a year, for sure, to start out with. For sure. And even if it's not like a whole weekend, even if it's just like, hey, we got like, you know, a quick day or two, let's do it.
Yeah.
Ugh. So good.
I do this
Good
on
to
I do this
disconnect.
on Sundays now.
You do.
And it is hard because you feel like you don't know what's going on
Yeah.
in the world.
It's okay though.
It is okay. You realize like you don't really need to, but you're so used to it all the time that you're like, I know, right? And then you don't have it and you're like,
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know what this football game score is. I don't know what the price of Bitcoin is. I don't know what's going on in the news or this or that. And then you realize like you don't really, most of these things don't actually affect you.
Mhm. And we talked about this on the pod last week or maybe the week before, and you said if somebody needs to reach out to me, you have those features where it'll bypass do not disturb.
Yeah, like you can set it to so it rings for certain people.
Yeah. And you say this all the time. Everything that matters to me is in this house. It's
Yeah.
us. It's right here. So you're like, I don't really, none of that matters. What matters to me is right here. And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And that actually reminded me, do you remember when we were at the beach with Hannah and Nick this year and our ring alarm for the home went off?
Yes.
And I said, Tim, somebody's in our house.
Yeah.
And it was very like, holy shit, like adrenaline, like very abrupt for me. And I'm looking at the ring camera and I was like, we have an intruder. Our alarm is going off right now. And this man was so like calm, cool, collected. And our friend Nick said, how are you so like calm right now? And without a beat, Tim was just like, everything that matters to me is right here.
Yeah, it's true.
Like nothing, like
I just like whatever. Like I mean, I don't care.
yeah.
Whatever. Just take the stuff.
Turns out it was actually our nanny who thought that she was
not
working
an
that
intruder.
day.
Yeah.
And she has the code to get in our front door. So she was also terrified. She was like, Amanda, what is going on? It's like, we're not here. I told you. And she's like, oh, she had the dates mixed up. Whatever, it's fine. But what really matters, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of ring,
Yeah.
there was some issue we had recently with our ring camera. So there was an AWS outage the other morning. And it was 5:45 in the morning. And I'm getting up to go to the gym. This was on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting up to go to the gym. And I'm really excited because Mondays are my leg day.
Hitting. Yeah.
And I take Monday morning leg day very seriously.
Okay.
It is the day to do legs, by the way.
Oh.
Because that's how you start the week. Like, talk about attacking your week.
Yeah.
Going to the gym.
Do
First
the hard
thing on
shit.
Monday, do legs. That's my
Yeah.
advice.
Okay.
For everyone.
Okay.
So I'm pumped because
Mhm.
I love Monday leg day. So I get ready. I have my coffee and put my shoes on. And then I go to disarm the ring system, which I need to do to leave the house or else it
Mhm.
will go off. So I open the ring app and it won't load the mode. Like it won't. So there's like a mode at the top. You have armed, disarmed, and something else. So it was set on armed because we set it the night before, but it wouldn't load, so I couldn't turn it on disarmed. So I was like, what's going on? So I sit down and I like Google or I search like Ring outage, and like there's all these people saying like Ring doesn't work. Like they're like adding Ring.
People are trapped in their homes.
They're like, I can't see my cameras.
Oh.
It's like, oh man, it's some like some crazy Ring outage. And then I'm like, how do I leave the house? Because every door there's no way to get in or out of our house.
This is like Smart House. Do you remember that movie? Where it's like
I
the
don't.
Disney movie? Ugh.
I don't.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. But you're trapped in the house because technology, which is supposed to keep you safe.
That was the premise of the movie?
Oh, it's this Disney original movie.
Is that what it was about?
It's a smart house.
Are they trapped in it?
And then she turns on the family and she's like, you're not leaving. Like, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's literally what happened.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're trapped
so
in the
I
house
was trapped in
Monday
the house.
morning.
Yeah. And I'm like, what do I do? Like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, I could do legs here, but even I can't even get into the garage. The weights are in the garage. I can't even get into there. I can't leave.
Yeah.
So, my first instinct is like, all right, what if I just leave and then it'll go off? But I'm like, how do I disable it once it goes off? Is there some way to call the customer support or something like that?
And it's loud. It would
It's
wake
very
August
loud.
up and like, what
Probably wake up the neighbors. Like, it's very loud.
poor guy.
So then I realized, okay, I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna unplug the receiver, the thing that like goes off if it senses like a door open. And I'm like, but it has a battery backup. That won't work because it still works if you lose power. So then I grab it and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna take this with me. I'm gonna put it in my hoodie so that if it goes off, it's like muffled a little bit.
Oh my God.
And then I'm gonna put it in your car so that it's like going off, but no one can hear it. And so that's what I did. So I literally unplugged it, opened the door. Sure enough, it starts going off.
So smart though.
I grabbed a pillow to like muffle the sound.
I
even
saw
more,
there's a pillow in my back seat.
and I stuffed it in your car with a pillow over top of it. Shut the door. You could hear it very faintly.
Okay.
I was like, that's gonna have to do. I'm gonna
Wow.
I'm gonna go. So yeah, I didn't realize that was the premise of that movie though. That's literally what happened.
Oh, we should watch it.
But then it got me thinking, like, okay, so it's back online now. It works. So I fixed it, put everything back. But I'm like, what if in the future you have like a robot security system? Like, imagine like a
No. Immediately no. I would take a gun to that fucking robot.
Imagine
Trying to keep
it's
me
like
in my house?
Yeah, imagine
No.
if it's like a robot that like roams your house for
No.
security, and like
No.
the same thing, like you have to disarm it and arm it, and it's set to like if it's armed, and it's set to like attack whoever comes through the door.
Tim, I would never. It could be outside of the house patrolling the perimeter.
That's
if it
not any
wants.
better though, because imagine I have to then. What if it's armed? I can't disarm
I
it.
could go
and
out the window and trick it.
So that's the thing. You're now in a fight with a robot that you hope you can outsmart.
I'm armed. I have weapons.
Maybe it is too.
No. Tim, I don't want to live in that world. Listen.
And I was like, imagine if there was a robot here I had to defeat, like to leave my own house.
That's such a man thought. That's such a
And then I was thinking, like, how would
many gorillas?
I defeat it? And then
Oh,
what was my
God.
answer? You texted me. You said, "What if it
I
goes
said,
off?"
what if it goes off?
And I said, "I'm gonna bash it with a hammer."
Yeah.
That's I think what
And
I would.
you literally texted that to me. I'm laying in bed. I'm like, all right, well, I hope he figures it out. I just woke up and I'm just laying in bed like, Jesus Christ.
So
Ugh.
yeah, I was like, imagine how crazy that would be if there was a robot you had to fight to leave.
Maybe
your house.
one of those little like cowboy robots. Those things look,
You can buy those things. By the way,
puny and
you can
yeah,
buy those things.
it's fine. I would buy one.
I think they're like $15,000 online.
Okay, fine. It can patrol the outside of my house if it wants. That's your sole job. I could take that robot. That robot's like fucking puny.
Yeah.
I could put that shit in a chokehold, do like a rear naked, sneak up behind it, boom, you're dead.
You hope.
Also, they look dumb. I mean, they keep getting fucking hit. They fall on South Congress. Did you see another one over the weekend? Fell off the curb, and then a Jeep turned in the
No, I
the
didn't
road
see
and
that.
just ran it over, and it was like, bye. Another one bites the dust. Literally. I'll send you the video.
Okay.
Just we're going in a very weird, uncharted direction that we've never experienced before with the AI of it all.
Yeah, and these things, as far as I know, they don't have LLMs yet. Can you imagine when someone
I can.
loads you can talk to it like ChatGPT?
That's gonna be
We
terrifying.
should get one for here, and it should be like our co-pilot here on the show.
Our producer.
Yeah, just have it roam around and do things for us.
That would be so, can you imagine? I would be like, I'm so sorry, I can't focus. There's a little robot roaming the room.
Yeah, give its own mic and it can talk.
Oh
that'd be
my
fun.
God. What voice would you give it? Because it wouldn't necessarily be like, this as a robot. You can literally have it sound like a fucking human. Oh.
John Cena.
Dee, 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 dee.
I would name it John Cena too.
What?
Yeah.
I feel like we need to talk about
John
this.
Messina.
I see what you did there.
John
okay.
Machine.
We're done.
John Machine.
We need to have like a general consensus on like we need to vote on a name. You can't just be like, yeah, we're gonna name it John Cena.
John Machina.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So anyway, yeah. So it's kind of like a scary, really
Where do we go?
terrifying thought. And then I met this guy at church that I was telling you about. So I met him a couple weeks back, and someone was talking to him, and I think someone was like, "Hey, here's my phone number." This guy pulls out a notepad, like this little, those little like 2x4 notepads, and a pencil, and writes their phone number down. And immediately I'm intrigued because I'm like, I haven't seen this
since the 90s, bro.
I don't even remember seeing that in the 90s. Like, I don't think I've ever seen someone do this. This is crazy. And so then I caught up with him at church this week. And I was like, hey, I forget how the conversation started. He was like, yeah, I'm writing a book. And I was like, well, what is your book about? And he was like, it's about how I haven't used technology for 1 year. And I was like, immediately I'm talking to you. Like, this is super interesting.
Tim's locked in right now.
Definitely read your book for one. My first question is, how are you writing the book? And he's like, I have a typewriter.
You guys.
I was like, you're typewriting a whole book? He's like, yeah. So then I'm just like, I'm going to ask this guy every question because I'm really intrigued. So I was like, tell me about it. What started? He's like, yeah, I had this job in tech. I was like in marketing, and I was just sitting there one day and I realized like I couldn't do this anymore. Like, I was just done. I couldn't look at the screen anymore. And like, I didn't want this for my life. And so the beginning of last year, January, he was like, I'm not going to do technology for a year. So now, we're in almost November. So he's almost finished a year.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to continue it, I think, because like it's done a lot for my life.
Yeah. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, then what did you do for your job? He's like, I quit. Like, I couldn't do the job anymore because obviously all jobs now have technology. I was like, so let me get this straight. You don't use the internet or you don't use any screen at all? He's like, no screen, nothing that has a screen. So I was like, what about your car? He's like, I have a old Toyota. He's like, it has a screen, but I figured out how to disable it. Wow. So like the screen doesn't turn on.
Committed.
This guy's committed.
He uses maps.
I said, what's the worst part? Like, what's the absolute hardest part? And he's like, finding a job. A new job was the hardest. And I was like, how did you do it? Did you just walk into places? He's like, yeah, I just started cold calling. I was like, well, how did you call them? He's like, I have a landline.
You guys, this guy's thought of everything.
I kind of thought I was gonna catch him.
Yeah.
My questions were like, but this?
Yeah.
And he had an answer for everything. He's like, no, I have a landline. He's like, when you call me, it sounds like you're talking to someone from like the 1800s.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't even know you could still get landlines. I didn't know that was a thing, but
all the cracks and all the, that's kind of cool. I want to call him. What's his name?
I forget his name. I don't even remember.
Damn.
I know what he looks like. I'm pretty bad with names. He won't see this. Obviously.
He won't hear it.
He won't hear this. He won't see it. But really interesting guy.
Good for him.
And he was telling me, he's like, yeah, I was going somewhere the other day. I had to stop at the library and I had to get out a map. Apparently they have maps at the library.
Does he only use cash?
He must. I didn't ask him.
Would you
I didn't have enough time to ask him about banking, but I wanted to ask him about banking because banking is all online now too.
I know.
So like,
but
how do you? I mean, I guess you could just get a checkbook and cash and do it old
yes,
school
because
style.
you can't go to an ATM. That's a
Can't go to an
screen.
ATM, so he has to walk into a bank.
He can talk to a teller and pretty much do
Everything.
I know, but unless the teller's like, we need you to log in for this. And he'll be like, I
Yeah.
literally can't. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I need all my funds
Yeah.
immediately.
So
it's probably in his mattress. He's probably got cash in
I
his
have
mattress.
no idea. I have no idea.
Wow.
I was gonna say he should buy Bitcoin, but I mean that kind of takes that out of it. He can never be able to access it.
Maybe he has Bitcoin and he's just leaving it long hold for the year.
Maybe, but if he never uses technology again, it's not gonna be very useful.
We gotta talk to him about like stocks, portfolio investments.
Yeah, every time I see this guy from now on, I'm just gonna start asking him more questions because I'm so intrigued.
Again.
Anyway, this guy's got to have a killer book. I mean, this is so intriguing.
Wow.
I almost want to be like, how do you get a book deal? How do you reach people?
How is he planning on marketing the book?
I assume his answer is he just cold called.
Is he going to hire a publicist?
I have no idea. And
can you find out what the book is called so that maybe we can like link it next episode or something?
Sure. I don't think it's out yet.
If there's a way to pre-order potentially.
Yeah.
Like get all the details.
I will.
Do you think that this guy is living a higher quality life than us right now? I fully do.
In some ways, yes, but in some ways, no. I mean, I get a lot of benefits from technology. It makes first of all, there's no doubt that he is going through way more of a hassle. He even said this. He was like, honestly, it's a huge pain. It is like a huge hassle because this is where the story came up. I was like, how do you get places? Because like I use GPS to go everywhere now. And he's like, I have maps and like I stop at the library and I read maps and I figure out where I'm going to go. Just think about how much time that would take. Wow. So like, yes, in some sense, he probably does on some dimensions live a higher quality life, but on a lot of dimensions, it just seems like a huge pain. And you would have to have so much time.
He does. Because he's not pulled in every fucking direction, looking at social media, looking at the news, learning about what's going on in the world. This guy is literally all the time in the world to be able to do what he wants. He can literally sit there and say, I have 0 things in my way other than myself. So whatever goal I want to get out of this one life that I have, which time is ticking and it is fleeting and it is every second wasted, scrolling, doom scrolling. He has none of that. So he literally gets to say, I can do what makes me happy in this life and chase my dreams without anything coming and distracting me and stealing my joy. Right? Because you get your joy stolen from you when you're doom scrolling and you read something depressing or something, whatever. Your energy is so susceptible in that moment. He said, no, I'm taking back the power of my life.
Yeah.
And I get to choose.
Yes.
Wow. With no distractions.
But
yes. And I get it. It's not just,
I think there's like also think about how much, yes, there's a lot of, there's obviously a lot of downsides, but think about all the beyond convenience. I get a lot of joy out of the internet too. And that's the thing.
It's I know, like but sometimes you can find joy out in the real world.
Sometimes there's a video that just like, cracks me up. And it's like, and we used to sit there and laugh about it.
But your dopamine receptors are being fried. So he's finding joy in the real world that's not curated for him. And how cool.
I applaud him.
How much more, listen, when you have an algorithm that's curating your joy for you and it is like instantaneous, that is like just such a hit. It's such a high. But how much more important and cool and joyful is it when you get to go out in the world and curate that joy for yourself? Or witness like a real raw moment? That's almost like 10 times better because it's real and nobody's curating it for you. You get to go out there and live it and find it and experience it for yourself and have that in that moment of just, wow, this is for me. Yeah. This is made for me.
I mean, I think I applaud him. I think it's amazing. And yeah, I'm sure he's, I think a lot, it depends on what your goal is too, though. I mean, if you have to be pursuing something or let's be honest. It's very hard to participate in the modern economy without the internet.
Sure. But and I don't want to sound like a Luddite over here. I'm just trying to say.
I'm just to the other side. Like if your goal is to like build a stable career, like I don't think this is practical. You can't really do that in the modern age without, like, think about even starting your own business.
Yeah.
All businesses these days, almost all of them they have they have to have some online presence, because think about how you find businesses. How do you find them? You find them online. You find them on social media. You find them on Google, whatever.
Or word of
You
mouth.
answer customers' emails. That's how you get work. Like, it is, I think, not practical to do this if that's your goal. So maybe he has different goals. His job, by the way, in case you're wondering, he is a caddy at a golf course, which is like the perfect job for someone doing this.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but finding a job was really like a nightmare. And he said his manager like has to print out the schedule for him.
And like pay stubs even?
Yeah,
like
has to
he
do
can't
everything
do electronic
physically.
deposit?
Man, that is something. And anyway, so I was talking about this with you off the air, but I feel like this is going to be the next big movement. You know how there's been like these movements in our life, which are always counterculture movements. That's a thing throughout history. Is you get some big thing, and then there's always a counter movement.
Yeah.
So like early 2000s or 2010s, it was what was it, like minimalism became a huge thing. Remember that?
Yeah.
There was like the documentary. It was like, I'm just
selling
too much
everything.
stuff, and like
Yeah.
I don't want this anymore. And so minimalism became huge counterculture, and then it became the aesthetic. If you notice that, aesthetic started to change. Like people started decorating their homes in minimalist style. And then what was the next one? There was one after that. Help me out here.
I don't know, but now we have maximalist. Now it's like maximalist. Everybody's like thrifting things from, they're going to antique shows and they're like, more is more is more, mixed patterns, mixed colors, and we're calling it eclectic. And
yeah, but that's the counter to minimalism.
Sure.
So that's the thing. Counterculture always, it
The pendulum
starts and then
swings.
it takes over, and now minimalism is, you can see it's peaked.
Yeah.
And now it's actually, at least aesthetically, coming back towards less minimalism. And I'm forgetting, there was another big counterculture movement in our lifetime that I can't. Oh, I know. It was the one where everybody was like quitting their jobs, selling their house, and moving into an RV. And like
that was
traveling the world. What was it called? There was a whole thing around it, right?
I don't know.
There was like a documentary we watched. These people who they live in vans and stuff, and they like just drive around and they live out of their van.
Nomad.
Yeah, nomad life.
Yeah.
I think this is the next big counterculture thing that we're going to see, is like this proliferation of, I think because of things like AI that are starting to really take over everything online. I think you're going to see a big counterculture movement that is like people saying no technology at all, zero.
Yeah, I've heard several people talk about this. I can see that.
Do you think that would be a thing?
For sure. I mean, people are already doing that. People are paying a lot of money and going to these nice resorts, and they put your phone in a lock bag.
But I feel like that's, I mean, I guess it's
and you go do whatever for the fucking week, or
But that's like a curated experience. I mean, like people that are like, we're going to go move somewhere with another group of people, and we're just not going to have
off grid
screens.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think it's almost impossible to live without technology, but screens specifically,
definitely.
you can probably get by.
There are people doing that for sure, where it's like, we're living off the land, and we're pumping our own well water, and we're growing everything that we need, and we just live seasonally, right? So we can't have a strawberry harvest right now, but what we can have is this. And then, oh my God, I follow this guy on Instagram. He is my new favorite follow. I've been following him for like a month only, and he lives in the UK. And it's just like the best videos, because he's like, all right, and as you know, now it's starting to get colder, and here's what we do to prepare for winter. And he is canning all of these things, and he's like, this is what we did last year. I mean, he's been doing this for years. And it's like, people are doing this to a certain extent. Obviously, he's filming it. He has somebody follow him with a fucking camera. So it's not like fully, but it's definitely trending more towards that, like Lucas Nelson song, turn off the news and build a garden.
Oh yeah.
Remember that song? I love Lucas
Vaguely.
Nelson. Yeah. Well, that's turn off the news and build a garden. And it's like,
what was the title? Do you?
That's the title.
That is the title. Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
And it's like, sometimes we have to unplug, because shit is so fucking crazy. And we're so, like I said earlier, we're so susceptible to this energy, where if you are open to it, you're going to spiral. And not a lot of people, let's be very fucking honest, have the tools to be able to like stop themselves from spiraling or even understand that they're spiraling when it's happening. And so I know a lot of people personally that I think, hey, let's go unplug, right? Can you do that? Are you willing to do that? Right? Because the decision is yours. You get to choose what you want to feel. So if you want to feel happy, you say to yourself every morning, I choose to feel happy, but you're letting yourself doom scroll and spiral, and you're just sucked into the news every single day, and you're sitting there in a chair in front of your TV watching it, then you're gonna spiral. Like that affirmation is only gonna get you so far. But if you put an action behind it and say, let me go unplug, let me go touch some fucking grass, real grass, okay? Not turf. And just go spend some time with yourself and do maybe just like 1% of what this guy is doing, you're going to come back to yourself and you're going to be better for it. Like for real. For real. This doesn't matter. None of it matters. This podcast doesn't matter. Nothing that we think matters really actually matters because we have one life. We're literally going to die and be returned back into the earth or wherever, whatever you think happens when you die is going to happen. I don't know. And when you think about it that way and you put everything into perspective and you just take a step back and look at the whole of everything on like, we're literally on a floating rock. Nobody cares about your outfit today or your podcast or your oat milk latte that the barista made wrong for you. Yeah. I don't know.
You're going to be leading this movement?
I feel preachy.
You sound very passionate.
I know.
Are you going to lead the
it's like
no screen movement?
No. Unfortunately, it is very dependent on how I make my money.
Yeah.
However, I will do
Queen of Screen.
I rebuke that title. I will do moments of it and weekends of it and hours of it in my day. And I live on do not disturb mode a lot of the time. My friends can tell you. I'll get back to you when I get back to you, but it is so important. And I'm feeling like I can't put the words behind it to tell you how important I think it is. Excuse me. And I think that that's something that I really want August to learn too, is like, man, we can get ahead with tech and it's so cool. And like, we're using the newest stuff, right? We're going to use the in-screen display Meta Ray-Bans and we're going to, be typing down here with our fingers and turning up the volume and like, yeah, but also we can't forget the importance of like thinking for ourselves. And I think that a lot of technology these days can be used to just control the narrative. And we want you to feel like this and we want you to think like this and we want you to find this funny and we want you to find this sad. But when you remove yourself from all of that and you say like, do I even have the tools to be able to live off the land if I wanted to? And not full scale, but just, can I tend to my own garden? Do I know how to garden? Do I know how to grow food and herbs to nourish my family? And like, if that's no for you, I mean, maybe you don't fucking care, whatever. I think that that's important because if shit hits the fan, and the government decides to fuck us, okay, we don't know what's going on. I would at least want to be comfortable in saying like, I have resources, I have knowledge, I can think for myself. I'm not fully dependent on, right? Like I have now I sound like a prepper.
Counterpoint. No, I have.
I have food. I have preservatives. I have MREs.
What about the fact that I would say with AI, I feel more than ever, I am able to do those things by myself. Whereas before it was like, I don't know how to do this. So like I find myself fixing things all the time around the house and because of AI, like I'm able to do it. Whereas before I would not have had a clue how to do the thing. So like, what about that? Because gardening, I would say I don't really know how to garden, but if I have the supplies and you give me AI, I bet I can figure it out because it'll tell me everything. Of course you can. It'll
tell you step by step.
So it's actually really useful for that.
I think it's a useful tool, period, the end. Yeah. I just think there's a level of dependency that
it does have a dependency.
I don't want to be fully dependent on it.
Yeah.
When someone asks me a question and my first thought is, let me ask ChatGPT, maybe I need to go touch grass. I'm just being very self-aware right now.
Yeah.
And I think for future generations, that's going to be like a very dependent thing. Are we impacting our kids' critical thinking skills from like a young age, like elementary school,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just,
it does change things when you think
It
about
stresses me
education a
out.
lot. And I don't really know what the right answer is. I think what it comes down to for me,
I keep looking over at the screen because we're supposed to get a grocery delivery.
well, we're almost done.
I know. I just want to make sure I don't miss it. And we have like food perishables sitting on the.
Okay.
We're good. We're good though.
I think what it comes down to is using technology with intention. And for me, it's about minimizing the passive use of technology, which is what we all do, which is to fill a minute of boredom by just picking up your phone and scrolling. We all do it. That is to me very different than I am trying to do X and technology helps me achieve X.
Sure.
And that is about being intentional with how you use technology. So for me, it's just about how do I maximize intentional use of technology and minimize passive use of technology, because that's where I think it gets into this. Well, it's just a crutch to help me fill boredom. But I don't think there's anything wrong with, hey, I've had a long day and I'm tired. I've been working all day and I have 30 minutes and I just want to scroll reels for 30 minutes because it's like entertaining.
Yeah, that's different.
I think that's fine.
To your point though, like if you're just in an elevator and everybody's on their phone, are you doing something important? Or are you just like,
I try to do
maybe I
that,
have
by the way.
social anxiety? What if you're sitting in a waiting room? Do you really like if you're working and you need to send an email? Sure, but most of the time it's just like, oh god, this is awkward.
I was in an elevator the other day. Everybody, by the way, uses their phone because elevators are awkward. They're very awkward. It's an
I
awkward
don't use my
space.
phone in an elevator.
Well, everyone else does.
I know. I put
And
it down and I'm just like looking straight ahead.
I did the same thing. So I try not to. And the other day I was in one with like 7 people all looking at their phone. And I was just looking straight ahead.
Yeah.
Not at anything in particular, just straight ahead. And this person to the left of me was kind of in my field of vision, but I wasn't looking at them. I was looking at the elevator door. And the person like looks up from their phone because they can sense like someone is looking in their direction, and they look at me like, "Are you looking at me?" And I just didn't make eye contact. Just kept looking straight ahead, and I'm like, this person must have thought I was just sitting there staring at them.
No,
but I wasn't. I didn't have my phone out.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's so nuanced. It's not just like a yes or no. It's not just like get off your phones, people, or get on your phone. Like it's just let's be more, I don't know, mindful. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, shall we wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up.
All right, good one.
Anything else you want to add?
No, or take a week off, right? So
yeah, we're gonna take a week off, guys. We need a little.
Maybe
fucking
you
breather.
can shoot one yourself. Do a solo one if you're feeling up for it.
I have never thought of that. What would I talk about?
I don't know. I thought solo episodes might be cool because we have different topics we can deep dive on. But let's see if people tell us if you're interested in that. If you want to see some solo.
Yeah, if you want to, what would you talk about? Bitcoin, finance, fucking
tech,
politics,
finance. Yeah, tech and finance primarily.
Nice.
That's my.
If you guys want to hear that, that's Tim's
sphere of
bread and butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let us know.
I could do, or you can do solo, so you have your own topics that you could deep dive on.
I'd be yapping away.
Yeah, so maybe we'll do that, but we're going to take a week off.
I have a lot of things to talk about, and I have a lot of things to say. And if you guys listened to last week's episode, I talked about how I thought I was going to delete subscribers. I did.
Wow.
So now I have tea that I got to tell to somebody. So maybe I should do a solo episode and just be like, oh my God, like I can't believe this person did this and this event looked like this but maybe not too much tea because it is public. Subscribers, I would be yapping away and like behind the scenes. This is free.
People can listen to this for free.
I know. Let me think on this, guys. Let me see what I want to gatekeep and.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
This is fun.
Yep. Thank you.
Bye.
Love you.